Hello, this is Mad Cat, and welcome to another edition of Dicks and Boobs. And today I have a special guest. I have Swedish boobs.
Swedish boobs. Ja, var är Swedish boobs?
Because the blonde hair just makes me think you're Swedish.
Yep. I'm Norwegian. Who knows? I might have some Swedish in me. But yeah, I'm currently dyeing my hair. Just don't look too long, or you might go blind.
I don't know. Maybe Andrew is Swedish. I'm sure.
Hey, possibly.
Swedishing you every night.
He wants some Swedish fish.
And in your ass.
Oh God. Andrew's like, no. Oh my God.
Poor Andrew. All right, so we have a show for you today. I won't say it's great. I'll let you judge after the fact. But we have some interesting articles, some really, really funny, and some really, really depressing stuff. So we'll go ahead and get started, but let's do our usual fanfare. I'm Dix.
I'm Boobs. Yeah.
Let's get started. All right, so we're going to start with something that is so depressing. A schoolboy tries to take his own life after bullies accuse him of rape as a joke and sparks a 10-month police investigation. Now, this article came out yesterday. So it starts that a 10-year-old boy at Northeast Lincolnshire tried to take his own life after he was accused of rape by playground bullies as a joke that went on for 10 months.
Can I just say something really quick?
Sure.
What kind of 10-year-olds think of this kind of crazy shit? When I was 10 years old, if someone pissed me off, I went up and kicked them in the fucking shin. Like, who the fuck thinks of this shit? These are some demented little fucks. God damn, like, why would you do that to someone, even as a joke? Like, how? Why are kids even thinking about sex at that age? Not that that's like a totally bad thing, but how do they know what rape and sex is to the point where they can joke about it? That's like, well, that's very mind-boggling to me.
Conversation, which I was going to have at the end of this, but I can go ahead and answer that right now because there's a lot of things that are happening right now. First off, when I was 10 years old, I was thinking about sex. I wasn't thinking about it correctly, but the interest was there. I mean, I didn't fully grasp the concept of it, but, you know, some things leak through, like, you know, looking at your father's Playboys, finding the porno, other kids talking.
I was a bit of a late bloomer, so.
But the thing is look at the culture that we live in today. Yeah. And I'm going to switch back to my camera because I want to talk.
Well, yeah, it's easily answerable, but it's just sad. Like, I wish that wasn't the case. You know,
we live in today. I mean, we have these organizations that want to go into school to teach boys not to rape. We have news media that constantly talks about rape and even false rape allegation, but treats it as if it's not an ordinary thing. The thing is that the more commonplace something becomes, the more it seeps through our society and trickles down to our children. And this has to say something that if children are now coming up with these ideas of, I'm going to say you raped me as evidence of, as a way to ruin your life, as a way to humiliate you, that has to say something about the rest of the culture, because children, they're always looking for something. I mean, girls from a young age know that if they cry, they can get out of trouble for things. You know, children, act one way in front of the adults, and then once their backs are turned, act a completely different way, and then can just put on the innocent act, and they can be believed. So children are always looking for a way to hurt other children because they can get away with it. And now they have found the one weapon that can destroy people's lives, even if they're innocent, a false rape allegation. And we live in the Me Too movement. And yes, I do think that the Me Too movement is responsible for this. Not directly responsible and not completely responsible, but they share some of the blame.
Mm-hmm.
So, but let me go back to this article because there's actually a lot more to discuss with what's happened here and why we should really take special interest in what this case is all about. So the distressed primary pupil was grilled by police for hours over the lies after the bullies threatened to ruin his life and made the false rape allegations against him. The bullying began after he refused to join in an abusive game with 3 classmates, and it went on for months until one of the bullies admitted that it had been a joke. The boy's family were told he was a potential danger to his 2 siblings, and they felt he was treated as though he was guilty from day one.
Oh my God.
The mom said, "Our lives have been turned upside down and have changed forever, all on the word of a 10-year-old bully who decided to pick on my son. My son has tried to take his own life twice as a result of these vicious lies.
Jesus.
He has stolen his innocence completely. He is a different little boy. He has moved schools, he's moved areas, all on the word of a stupid and evil bully making up a lie."
That's so sad.
Now, we talk about how raping children can alter their lives, can forever change them. And yeah, it can. But making a false allegation as serious as rape can do just as much damage, if not more. Rape is bad, but a false rape allegation is even worse.
I mean, a lot of, just to, go off of that, like a lot of people can get over being raped, because everybody is there to support you. Literally everyone is there to support you, besides maybe a couple people who might question you or something like that. But then people who are falsely accused, they might live their entire life being reminded of this horrible thing, and it could just continuously fuck up their life until they don't have a life anymore, and then they just want to die, like this little boy, which 10 years old is probably the youngest I've heard of so far that's committed or attempted to commit suicide.
It's not the youngest. I've seen reports that suggest that it can happen younger than that, although you don't really hear about it. It's a very rare occurrence, but it does happen. But I think you're perfectly correct, because to reiterate what you basically said, I mean, when you're raped, you have so many services around you to help you, especially if you're a girl. If you're a boy, not so much, because most of the world thinks that you wanted it anyways. But with a false rape allegation, I mean, first off, you're innocent, and the world thinks you're a monster. This little boy got suspended from school. He got grilled by the police for hours.
Who the fuck even thinks that 10-year-olds are having sex? I don't think they're having sex that much that they should be worried about it actually being true. Like, that's a little ridiculous in my opinion.
Yes, but the way feminists have framed it, every rape should be serious, and not taking the rape serious is basically rape apology.
Yeah, Yeah, if they didn't do something about it, then they'd be fucking misogynists.
It cannot go unpunished. What my son has been through would be bad enough for an adult, let alone a little boy. These are the worst bullies in the country, and they'll probably get away with it, and they will. The child's nightmare was sparked by a game in which the last person to reach the school gates in the morning agreed to be bullied for the rest of the day. Not really agreed, but coerced. The mom told the Mirror that when she told him to not take part, the bullying got worse, and the so-called friends threatened to ruin his life. Weeks later, she got a call from the school telling her to pick up her son after an incident. She said they wouldn't tell me what had happened. They said there had been an allegation and that my son couldn't be at school as a result. The mom of 3 picked up her bewildered son and waited for a knock at the door. He had no idea what he was supposed to have done. We waited. Soon after, a social services man arrived. He also refused to tell me what the allegation was, only that it had been passed to the police. I was furious. He then told me that if I wanted to keep custody of my children, an older girl and younger boy, I must keep them away from my 10-year-old. We are a happy, close family living under one roof. How was I supposed to do that?
What? Wait, so they were saying to keep her one child away from her other children?
Yeah. Or else she'd lose custody of all of her children. But at this point... I would
punch that motherfucker.
Well, yeah, you could punch him, but then that would mean that you lose your children.
Yeah, I know.
But still, she didn't know what her son did. Her son didn't know what they did. He's been taken out of school and is now told is a danger to his family with no knowledge that he has done anything wrong. The mom tried to find out what her son had supposedly done, but police refused to give details while gathering evidence. She said, I didn't know what to do. I felt so helpless. He is just a child. The family were left in limbo for a month before they were finally called to the local station where a full seriousness of the situation was revealed. A whole month. He was expelled from school and told that he was a danger to society, and he didn't know for a month what he had done wrong. No wonder why he tried to commit suicide.
Yeah.
The mom said they told us that he was being arrested on suspicions of 2 counts of rape and 4 of sexual assault. My son asked what that meant. He was so innocent. He didn't even have a clue what the words meant. My stomach dropped.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought there must have been a mistake. I didn't want to let go of my boy, but they refused to let me or his stepdad in as they questioned him. Now, in the United States, if I remember correctly, you cannot question a child without a parent present. But this is in the UK, so I don't know what the rules of the UK are. If someone could let me know that. But it's just horrendous right there that they could question a 10-year-old boy by himself. God, I'm glad I live in America.
Right. Jesus. What country was this in again?
I believe it was in the UK.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Apparently, it was claimed that the incident happened at our home on a play date, so we couldn't accompany him. We called his biological dad and went in with him. I was beside myself. He was in there for 4 hours. How is that right? He is a child. 4 hours with the police.
What the fuck?
The family finally learned the allegations had been made by 3 school kids who were meant to be the boys' friends. Speaking about the vile game the boys played, the mom said, "My son was being bullied. The ringleader was turfed out of his house early by his mom, who wanted him out. Because he didn't want to wait for school time alone, he created this game. But I wouldn't let my son leave before it was the right time. As a result, he was always the one bullied. I had no idea. They told him because he was always the loser, they were going to make a rumor up about him to ruin his life. But this was a couple of months before the allegation. We told the police this, but it was ignored. Then came an anxious wait to see if there would be a trial. She said the police didn't care about the impact on my son, who was a child and should have been treated as innocent until proven guilty. Well, welcome to the UK.
Yeah.
Even in the United States, a person accused of rape is treated as guilty until proven innocent.
Mm-hmm.
I was told they make charging decisions every 28 days. So every month I would call only to be given no news. In that time, the family had a visit from Witness Protection Service agent. The mom said, "We were told if the case got the go-ahead, my son would be the youngest person to face trial for one of the allegations." They told us that if given the green light for trial, the entire family would have to be given new identities. We would have to move and protect the interests of our own safety.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
After 10 months, they got a letter saying that there would be no charges, but the case is still open. The family hired a lawyer to get the charges dropped completely after one of the boys allegedly admitted that it was all just a joke. The mom said they should face charges for wasting the police times, and the police should face consequences for how they treated us and how long they kept us in that hell waiting.
Yeah.
My boy is 10 years old, yet he was treated like a grown man who committed rape as though he was guilty without trial. It is sick and wrong. Something needs to be done about it.
I mean, this just shows you how shitty things are getting for men and boys. It's not just men anymore. People literally don't care about children if they're men. If they're born with a penis, or if they're born with a penis and don't want to be a girl, then they're fucking evil automatically.
I mean, look, I understand you have to take rape claims seriously, but this could be handled so much better. I mean, first off, I don't know the legal environment of the UK, but still, someone has to have some common sense and ask themselves, how could a 10-year-old boy be the perpetrator of rape, of sexual assault?
Exactly.
He's a tough kid. I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to really wrap my head around it.
I mean, even if this little boy, this 10-year-old boy, had sex with another female, and who even knows if it would be rape or not? Who the fuck? They're fucking 10 years old. They're not gonna fucking know what they're doing. If they did know what they were doing, how is anyone to know if it was consensual or not? If he did have sex, not saying that he did it all, obviously, because this is obviously a fucking rumor plotted against him just to be fucked up. But I mean, how would you even know that it wasn't an accident, a game, a fucking, like, what happened to fucking like playing doctor when you were a kid? Are you gonna fucking put someone in jail for that shit? Like, hey, I saw my friend or my mommy playing doctor. Do you want to play? And then fucking jail immediately. Like, when are we gonna? What is the line? Like, I don't understand.
Well, that's a very good question, because what is the line? I mean, we've had this situation going on for a number of years, and we have been warning the world that this is a problem.
Yeah.
First it was, oh, men are getting wrongly convicted, and feminists like, well, it's better for 100 innocent men to go to jail than one guilty man to go free. Then it started affecting feminist children, like their boys getting falsely accused of rape. There was an incident in New York a few years back where this mother, who was a lawyer, who was also a feminist, believed that the only time you get accused of rape is if you actually committed rape, until it happened to her own son. And that he would have been expelled from school if she hadn't stepped in to help. And she realized that he had no due process given to his defense. And she knew that he didn't do it. Then we start having girls getting the same treatment, that a guy sleeps with a girl in college and then reports her in fear that she will report against him, and she gets expelled. That still doesn't wake anyone up. And now we're getting children who are getting this runaround with this. So I guess what's the saying now? It's better for 100 little boys to kill themselves just so one guilty person doesn't go free? Bull fucking shit. No, we have to draw the line. We keep telling you that it's going to get worse and worse and worse, and people need to wake the fuck up. You say if one rape happens, it's bad. Well, if one false rape accusation happens, it's bad. People have had their lives destroyed over false allegations, even after the person who made the claim later cited that it was made up. The people who the accusation was against are still viewed as guilty. Even when there's overwhelming evidence, such as Emma Sokowitz, who still tried to engage in sexual activity with her rapist, is still seen as the victim. Or even Harvey Weinstein. This recently came up, that one of the people he supposedly raped continued to have email correspondence with him to have further sexual activity with him.
Did you hear about the woman who... I was going to say the woman who accused him, but was also accused of basically grooming a 17-year-old boy.
I hadn't heard that. No.
Yeah. I should have. I think I retweeted it, but I'll have to send that to you so we can talk about it. But yeah, lots of fucked up shit going on. Fucking hypocrites.
I mean, this just really pisses me off because now it's starting to trickle down in society, and there's the one lesson being taught that you can lie about rape and get a slap on the wrist. And I had Paul Elam like a comment on Facebook where I said, if you excuse people for making false allegations, I didn't say false rape, but I said false allegations, then you teach people that false allegation is the ultimate weapon. Hey, I can say that Modern Medusa raped me. And what punishment would I face if it was found out I lied about it? None. But her life can get destroyed in the process. Hell, she could even go to jail, hypothetically, because of something I say. But nothing bad would happen to me as a result. Or if something did happen, it would no way compare to what I put her through. And that is the lesson that's being taught in our society, and now children are picking it up. If they know they can say, oh, well, it was just a joke, we didn't mean any harm by it. Oh, that's okay, here's some candy. Even though a boy nearly committed suicide twice in a 10-month period. He shouldn't ever commit suicide until he's old enough to have teenage problems. I'm sorry, I'm just really upset about this.
Understandable. Yeah, I mean, just when you look at how biased it is, how skewed it is, like in the favor of women. Especially when it comes to rape, you know, it's like they act like it's the worst thing in the world, but then they don't want to help the people who really don't have a voice at all. It's so sad. And you know, and even after this, they'll still be like, oh no, we have to focus on women who are committing suicide. Women, it's all about women all the time, never men. Fuck men. Hashtag men are trash. Like, oh Jesus.
You know, feminists should be the one who have the biggest problem with false rape allegations. They should be the
Right.
one who are policing themselves, because it takes away from those who actually suffer through rape, those who are actual victims. Because
Yep.
all false rape accusation does is muddy the waters, and it prevents people from being taken more seriously. But instead, they take the opposite approach. Well, if someone accused you of rape, you must have done something bad, even if you don't realize it. Oh, they lied about it? Well, it's because the patriarchy that they had to lie about it. There's always some excuse that excuse women from any of their actions.
Oh yeah. Always.
So if you're listening, if you're watching, please give a comment on this. Tell us what your thoughts are. But I'm going to go ahead and move on.
Okay.
And go to something more funny. Feminist Fight Club. Just waiting for the mention of Modern Medusa on that one.
Feminist Fight Club teaches testosterone. What the hell does that mean?
Feminist Fight Club at public university teaches participants how to raise their testosterone.
So they're becoming men?
See, that's always been my problem. It's like women, feminists want to have equal rights for women, but all they're really doing is turning them into men. My hypothesis is that by turning women into men, it basically means we don't need men in the society, that women can fulfill both roles, which is what they've always been trying to push anyway. So that's what I think it is. Okay, so activists at Colorado State Universities have created a feminist fight club where participants will learn about interrupting problematic behaviors and confronting subtle sexism on public university campuses. Well, so far they're doing a bad job, because I know about the feminist fight club. Isn't the first rule of Fight Club not to talk about Fight Club?
Right. You're not supposed to be like, hey, Fight Club, ladies, come on, who wants to be in a Fight Club? You had one job.
Group members will also learn how to raise their testosterone by posing their bodies in certain ways. So apparently you can raise your testosterone by posing.
I'm sorry. What? Posing. They're saying posing in certain ways can boost your testosterone.
Yeah.
Is that one of them? Am I supposed to?
I presume so. I'm sure there's some website somewhere telling me. I just don't want to look at it.
I feel like a man. I'm so manly right now. Are these the gestures I'm supposed to do for Feminist Fight Club?
Now you're a man.
Oh, now you're a man.
Man. Now you're a man. Manly man.
Yeah. Is that what you're supposed to do? Is flex? So you're supposed to be more manly, but a feminist at the same time. Okay. All right. I don't know. I mean, I guess they really are just trying to turn everyone into men, because even the Pussy Church only accepts lesbians. So I'm guessing most of them are probably butch.
Well, what about
Because who's a feminist and lesbian and isn't manly looking for most people.
Well, remember the other article we had last week where the woman is criticizing her daughters for being feminine, for liking pink and
Yeah.
wanting to be princesses. And all she can think is, how have I failed my children?
Oh my god. I just want to shoot
Boy
myself in the
clothing,
face.
gives them boy toys. She wants boys, but she got girls instead.
Well, even if she got boys, she'd probably try to turn them into girls. That's what's so fucking stupid. Like, if you're just gonna raise your kids to be the opposite gender, why? What? There's literally no point other than purposely confusing them. But anyways.
Okay, so this group formed this past school year teach students to use fight moves outlined in the book Feminist Fight Club by author Jessica Bennett. These moves will address problematic behaviors that disadvantage women and other marginalized groups in the workplace, according to the program's website. Some of the problematic behaviors listed in the group's 6-part discussion guide are man-interrupting, which is when a man interrupts a woman, appropriation, defined as when a man appropriates a woman's idea. Members are also encouraged to fight a man-interrupter by interrupting an interrupter on behalf of your fellow woman. So basically, they're training them to behaviors they don't like by being bullies themselves to become the thing that they're fighting against.
I don't understand the logic. It just is not logic. It doesn't make sense.
Does not compute. Does not compute.
Right, exactly.
I mean, hey, if a man interrupts a woman, you should interrupt the man constantly because that'll solve the problem.
I don't even
trying to be, but you know, women, they're the more fair sex. They're the more peaceful sex. Yet they're using tactics. I mean, it's like, hey, if there's a bully at school who's just hitting you, hit him back, hit him harder. I mean, that's not what I was ever told. I was always told to walk away if a bully tries to pick a fight with me, which was also stupid because what's to stop the bully from attacking me from behind? But this is even more retarded. Okay, so just like the movie Fight Club, in which groups of disaffected men start a brutal fight club and eventually become anti-corporate terrorists, Colorado State Feminist Fight Club has rules. Among them, you must talk about the Feminist Fight Club at CS.
My God.
We fight the patriarchy and all forms of harassment, bullying, inequity, inequity, discrimination, isms, and phobias. Oh, okay, so are you going to fight against arachnophobia?
Wait, how are they against isms if they're for feminism? What? I don't get it. Okay. Dismantle feminists.
But not each other. So that's how they don't fight against feminists. Okay. But they'll fight against any other ism that's not a part of who they are. Okay. And the fight is not over until we have achieved gender equality for all people. Oh, are you fighting for the inequality that men face? Oh, probably not against the patriarchy, even though there is no patriarchy. You're fighting against that, so. To accomplish these goals, the club discusses guides. Guide includes several activities like Be a Power Poser, where members are enjoined to pose for 90 seconds to raise testosterone levels, and Don't Tell Me to Smile, where members are encouraged to practice the comeback you're going to give the next time a colleague, friend, or stranger asks you why you're not smiling.
The ultimate feminist fucking problem.
All right, so someone wants to join us, so I'm going to send them the Hangout link. So,
Yay! Oh, someone said something in the comments.
Finally got a comment. I've been checking it periodically. What's kept you people so long? Ooh, it's Warped Reflection. Yeah,
do you want me to read it?
Their version of a Fight Club, Warped Reflection says their version of a Fight Club sounds like shit, and it's like, well, yeah, it's not a Fight Club. It's just a group of women getting together, learning how to be men. I mean, when I first heard Feminist Fight Club, I thought maybe it was like a self-defense course. I mean, I didn't think women were really punching each other up, which would be awesome. But I thought, oh, okay, maybe it's just them learning self-defense, even though most feminists think that self-defense is sexist.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so the College Fix reached out to Corey Wong, the director of Women and Gender Collaborative at the university, for more information on the club, including how many students participate in it. Wong did not respond to multiple requests for comments. Reach for comment via email. Jessica Bennett, who wrote the book, directed the fix to Corey Wong, who CC'd on Bennett's reply. Wong did not respond to that email chain either. Bennett told the fix that she had the pleasure of being at CSU for the kickoff about a year ago, and that Corey and her fellow Fight Club members really deserve the credit for the amazing work they're implementing at CSU. Another activity in which the club participants take part in is a drinking game devoted ridding members of their tendency of using filler words and phrases. Each time a member uses a phrase like or kind of, others are supposed to point it out and make them take a drink.
What? What?
So we're joined by Draconeth. Am I saying that right?
Hello.
Hello, Draconeth.
Draconeth? All right.
Yeah, close.
Welcome to our shows of dicks and boobs. Which
Can
one
I
would
just
you
call you Draco for short?
Yeah, you're welcome to.
Yay!
I'm going to call him Dragon Penis.
Dragon Penis? Okay, I'm good with that.
Okay.
So how are you doing, sir?
All right. So
we're reading an article right now about Feminist Fight Club.
Except it's not a fight club at all in the natural Fight Club sense.
I was gonna say, does it require hair coloring and?
You must not shave.
Well, the basic premise of it is that women get together and they learn how to combat harassment. So, like for a man interrupting, if a man interrupts a woman, they're taught how to interrupt him back.
Oh, lovely.
So poor social skills class.
Yeah. But I do
being
love
an asshole class.
Yeah, being a cunt class. I mean, I understand you're fighting against men's rude behavior, but you don't combat rude behavior with rude behavior, because all you end up creating is more rude behavior. You've got to set the example and show the proper way to do something, and that it will give people a better reception if they treat other people with respect.
Or do what I do.
But I forgot.
What's up? What would you do?
I just put a sock in their mouth and just keep on talking.
Right? I mean, like literally I think okay, now I remember what I was gonna say. I think they just enjoy being rude to people. I think they actually enjoy it because I've met people that just they're just mean naturally. They're just naturally mean people. And I think that this is just them coming together and being like, yeah, I want to be a fucking dick to everyone. Teach me how to be a better dick. Because I honestly think that they get enjoyment out of pissing people off. And like, I like pissing people off only with facts, you know, like if they get angry at things that aren't, you know, perfect to their ideology or whatever. But they're just like, no, if you're a man, fuck you, I'm gonna be an asshole to you. It's
well, I do want to respond to this part right here, because the whole idea of helping people with their filler words is a very good practice to do. And usually you like kind of embarrass them, like when someone says you go and it's cruel, but it does help people get out of the practice of doing that. But instead they've turned it into a drinking game, and here's why that is a bad idea. Because the more you drink, the more your speech is going to slur, so the more likely you're going to say and kind of. But
probably the point.
More importantly, because you're doing it more and more, you're going to completely forget about it the next morning.
True. Honestly, though, I need someone like that in my life, because I do that a lot, and I need someone to just not give me alcohol, though, because I would be dead at the end of the day. I would just give me like a little boop on the nose. Don't do that.
That's why you have me for. I'll just go.
Yeah, perfect.
This is interesting. So so basically, it's a wow. They don't even teach you how to properly like deal with a conversation. They're like, just yell and scream until you are happy. Or you pass
yell
out.
until you don't fuck up. Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, don't say but definitely just screech randomly throughout the conversation. Oh, Jesus.
Fight Club members are also reminded to make sure your fight moves are inclusive and intersectional, with a supplemental guide.
What does it even mean?
This document reminds members that gender-based oppression is differently experienced and often differently perpetrated based on our multiple identity and the various systems we navigate. So if you're going to fight against a man, make sure he doesn't identify as a woman first.
Wait. So they're saying interrupt men, but if they might be a tranny, don't do that.
Yeah.
So does that mean make sure that if you're going to call someone a pussy, you need to make sure that they don't identify as a pussy?
No.
So that way you go, you're a dick.
Oh my god, that's so confusing. How can people live and like actually try to abide by these rules? I don't. Feminists are fucking crazy.
Yes, they are. All right, we're almost done with this one. In order to ensure members keep their fighting moves intersectional, the supplemental guide asks a series of questions, including how might an example of problematic behavior differently affect people based on their own identities, and is there anything about this fight move that is exclusionary, alienating, or supportive of other subordinate identities?
Hang on, I have a question.
Well, let me respond first by saying,
okay.
How about the fact that you're targeting men and you're trying to bully men? Wouldn't that be an example of a move that's exclusionary, alienating, and not supportive?
Exactly. Well, I'm just trying to figure out. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but is this actually just literally not a fight club at all? No fighting involved, just them telling each other how to be dicks to men?
If anything, it's more of a militia teaching how to fight against other people.
So no actual fighting involved.
No, they don't fight each other. That's one of the.
God.
Does that mean if I identify as a woman for a day, take a lead pipe to one of these, and they tell me, "What are you doing?" I came from the Fight Club.
Nope, because one of their core rules, as we mentioned up here, is not to fight against each other.
Yeah, so you'd be expelled. You would have. That's it. You'd just be expelled from the club. You're fine though. The rest is fine. But
what if I tell them they're transphobic for kicking me out because I identify as a woman?
I identify as a lead pipe. But I actually thought that maybe they actually were a fight club and this was just the rules that they had to do besides the fight club. But no, that is the fight club. The rules. What the fuck? This is a disgrace. The Fight Club. Fuck you. Fight Club is a good movie. How dare you?
They're not fight clubbing properly.
I think I'd give them a gold medal in gymnastics.
For mental gymnastics?
Both. Because the amount of hopping you're going to have to do to understand this.
Well, don't forget the power poses that they do to increase testosterone in their bodies.
This is not.
There's poses that help that?
Apparently.
This is not what Brad Pitt envisioned. Stop it!
She gets hyped up. That's funny.
Look, the feminists stole it! It's gone! No, it's been missing for a while.
All right, so let's jump to our next article. Actually, I'm going to jump.
This one about the holes?
Yeah, I'm going to jump to the holes one.
Yeah.
And someone requested it in chat.
Yeah.
So Healthline says using the medical term vagina is not gender inclusive language. Uses front hole instead.
There's one major problem I have with that.
Just one?
Multiple, but one major one.
Okay.
Women, biological females have more than one front hole. That's why you call it the vagina. You're referring to the vagina hole. If you wanted to say urethra, you'd say urethra. But when you say front hole, that's not a very good indication of which hole. You don't call my butthole the back hole, so why would you call the front hole? Or why would you call a vagina the front hole?
Back
I don't understand. You back hole.
Well, you know, when I talk about the urethra, I call it the pee-pee hole.
Exactly. That's what we're gonna call it. That's what we're gonna call it. Front hole and pee-pee hole. From now on is politically correct.
Okay, but as funny as this is, wait till you find out why they're doing this. And I know Draconith knows because he's already read this, but
ironically enough, no.
Well, didn't you post it in the chat there?
I did post it in the chat, but I did not read it.
Oh, okay. Well, I have read it. And I
saw the headline and I was like, I don't have enough alcohol in my fridge for this.
True. Makes sense.
Well, I've read it and I've looked at some of their cited things. Wow, it's just so much bullshit. But let me go ahead and read it. So Healthline has claimed health disparities and higher rates of HIV and STI observed in LGBT communities are due to discrimination in sex ed world. Let that sink in. Because you call something a vagina, LGBT people have more HIV.
I don't think that's the reason.
So
I'll explain that little part in a moment because I checked their homework on that. and I will show you what their homework is. But let me continue reading.
Okay.
So, the California-based health information provider has adopted the gender-inclusive term front hole in place of the medical term vagina in their latest LGBTQIA-EIEIO safe sex guide.
E-I-E-I-O.
For the purpose of this guide, we will refer to the vagina as the front hole instead of solely using the medical term vagina, the document explains.
Someone in the chat just said, I have a front tube.
Who said that?
Oh my god.
I have a front tube. Awesome.
Oh shit.
I'm looking at these other comments. Oh, please keep them coming. And all right, so
Andrew, hang on. Andrew just said, do you care if I put my front tube in your mouth hole? Oh, no, he said back hole. Sorry. He said back hole.
Back hole? Oh, they said he used the wrong term. He needs to use front hole A, front hole B.
Front hole A and front hole B. Oh my god.
Because to imply a back hole is that it's something dirty. So we have to call both the vagina and anus as front hole A and front hole B.
I was going for the top front hole and the bottom front hole, but okay.
Front hole C.
Okay, there you go.
Front hole C.
And, you know, what about the holes in your ears, your eyes? And let's not forget your pores.
Personally, I know someone with mouth herpes that would be very offended by this.
Okay, so let me continue reading. This is gender-inclusive language that's considerate of the fact that some trans people don't identify with the labels the medical community attaches to their genitals. So even though a trans person has a vagina, that trans person doesn't necessarily identify it as being a vagina. That's what it's saying.
I am vagina.
Oh God, this is getting good.
For example,
Hello.
some trans and non-binary identified people assigned female at birth may enjoy being the receptors of penetrative sex, but experience gender dysphoria when that part of their body is referred to using a word that society and professional communities often associate with femaleness. An alternative that's becoming increasingly popular in the trans and queer communities is front hole. Yeah, there's a reason why the medical community refers to it as a vagina, much for the reasons that Vanessa says, that there's a lot to it, and it's just an all-inclusive term that we apply to it so that when we say, hey, your vagina is on fire, people know what we're talking about. If I say, hey, your front hole is on fire, that leaves a lot to the imagination.
Exactly. Like literally, if someone said front hole in normal conversation, I would have no fucking idea what they were talking about. I'd be like, what? Is there a hatch somewhere? What am I looking for? Like, that doesn't sound like even like a body part. Like fucking nose, eyes, ears, tits, vagina. It's pretty fucking easy. Oh.
All right, so the document went on to claim that lack of representation and anti-LGBTQIA bias in standard safe sex guides stigmatizes certain sexual behaviors and identifies and is directly related to higher rates of HIV and STI reported within the LGBTQIA communities. Let me go ahead and finish this up. The guide goes on to suggest it's imperative for safe sex guides to become more inclusive of the LGBT and non-binary people and their experiences. This will help address barriers to accessing care and effective educational tools while simultaneously normalizing and acknowledging the true diversity that exists with regards to gender and sexuality. Sorry, ladies, the term vagina is quickly becoming a bigoted word, as is often the case with transgender ideology, and its greatest impact is on women and girls. Men and women are inherently different, and women will have to pay an exceptionally high price if we continue to pretend otherwise. So I'll let you respond before I show you their homework.
Well, I have a vagina. I don't want someone to ask me if they want to fuck my front hole. Well, then again, are they against the word pussy then? Because they only said vagina. They didn't say pussy or cunt. So can they still call it that? Just wondering. But I'm also wondering if this is actually a thing within the trans community or whatever. Like, do they actually...
Sure it's within the California trans community.
Wait, front hole is within the Californian trans...
Well, you're asking if it's actually part of the trans community, but since this is based out of California, and we know how liberal California is, I'm betting that only groups within California have this problem. That if we went, I don't know, Blair White, if we went to, I can't think of any other trans person at the moment, but if we went to them, we asked them about, I'm sure they've heard of it, but they probably think it's a joke.
I doubt Blair White has heard of it yet. I would love to hear what she had to say about it, because that shit's hilarious. I mean, like, I do wonder though, like, I just wonder if anybody who has heard of this, who is trans, has just been like, oh yeah, just call it my front hole. I don't want you to call it a vagina because that will trigger me.
No, so there's one I follow named Tranime Girl, and she apparently refuses to call it a front hole. She just heard about it.
That was
we
lovely.
have Liz Reptile in here.
Hi, Liz.
And Tom Leach.
Hello,
Trans
everybody.
activists always think they speak for the mock community. Isn't it funny that the trans activists are actually the people who are not trans?
Right, exactly.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
So I have looked over their report, and they state that there's a higher disparity of HIV in the LGBT community versus the non-LGBT community.
You don't say.
I researched where they got that information from. And they actually got it from here, the National Health Statistics Report from 2014.
That survey was done in 2013, published 2014. Wow, that's not old at all.
Well, we use a lot of things on here that date back 40 years. So, I mean, I'm not concerned about its age. What I'm concerned about is how they've misrepresented the information.
Yeah.
So, let's go to what they were talking about. And I'll show you the graph because it's just easier to look at. All right, so about 96% of the people who took this were straight. And the rest were gay, lesbian, or something else. I think only 2% were gay, lesbian, and bisexual. And then whatever percentage was remaining was those who didn't know how to identify or refused to identify. Now, what they're basing their entire argument on is this chart right here. And you'll notice, ever been tested for HIV. Not that they have HIV, ever been tested for it. And if we look, the first part is just age 18 and over, and the bottom part's age 18 to 64. But if we look at this, yeah, for both sexes, gay and lesbians have been tested for it more than anyone else. And then if we look at just men, gay men have been tested for it more than anyone else. And women, it's kind of across the board about 50% gay, lesbian, straight, and bisexual.
So instead of possibly, maybe telling them to have safe sex, they decide that there's another problem. The problem is gendered genitals, apparently.
But they reference this article as their proof that there's a bigger problem of HIV within the LGBT community.
I mean, that's obvious.
But the problem with that is that their evidence is only asking, have you ever been tested for it, not if you have it. And let me go here. Ever been tested for it? This indicator, individuals who received HIV testing solely as a result of blood donations were considered not to
been tested for HIV.
Yeah.
Huh.
I misread that earlier.
So if you donated blood, you're not considered to have been tested, but
right.
If you donate blood, they test your blood for HIV.
Yes. Also for plasma, which I do every week. I do twice a week, and they test my blood for HIV. So I guess I misread that earlier. I thought. But the problem with this is they're making this big, large claim on the basis of this report shows that LGBT have been tested higher for it. That's it. And that's why they want to change the word.
So because they test more than everyone else, let's change a word.
Yeah.
I mean, they were probably just looking for an excuse to present that, but and that was the first thing that they came up with. But like, I mean, I've always heard about, the gay communities having more sexual transmitted diseases and infections. Like, that's just a thing, I mean, the gay community is promiscuous. Sorry, like, not every gay person is promiscuous, but the gay community, if you get into, partying, clubbing, stuff like that, and you have sex with all these random guys, you're very at risk for, catching a disease or an infection. And obviously the solution isn't to call your vagina a front hole, just like calling your penis a front tube is gonna make any fucking shit difference.
Well, you know what bothers me about their report, because I've actually tried to read as much as I could before I was just like, this is so idiotic. In the report, they state that HIV passes when a front hole is penetrated or the anus is penetrated and the person doing the penetrating has HIV.
I was under the impression that it was a blood transmission.
No, you can get it from sex.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that was the more common way to get it.
Yeah, blood transfusion is, but they're talking about with safe sex and all of that, and that's what they're truly trying to promote. But the problem is they don't mention anything about a person with a penis having sex with someone who is HIV positive. They've completely omitted that from their documentation.
True.
Yeah, because
the only way you can get it is if someone penetrates you that has HIV.
That's their reason?
Well, I'm saying that's in the report.
Oh, okay.
That was just something that I noticed, that it didn't mention anything about men getting affected by having sex with women who had HIV. It only mentioned about getting HIV if you were on the receiving end of penetration.
Exactly. Just how you're only raped if you're on the receiving end of penetration, according to the fucking whatever it's called. I don't remember what it was.
FBI.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I was like, nah, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's fucked up. Fuck you.
Question is to drink or not to drink. There is no question. The answer is to drink.
You should take a shot for every time this article had front hole in it.
Every time I say front hole, take a drink. No, I'm out of beer now. Sad face. Donate to my PayPal if you want me to have more beer.
Well, I don't have beer either, so donate to my PayPal to get me.
Yeah, donate to both of them if you want us to have alcohol.
I would share my bottle of plum wine with you guys if I was able to.
Plum wine, fancy.
You had me at wine. All right, so let's jump to our last article of the night. Women tricks dozens of men on Tinder into showing up for a mass dating stunt.
Dating stunt?
Tinder, huh? You know, for some reason, I don't feel so bad. Isn't Tinder that one where like it's popular because a lot of like spouses that cheat on it go?
No, that was something else. I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of its name.
I thought it was Tinder.
No, it wasn't Tinder.
I don't remember.
All right, so let's look this one over. A woman identified as Natasha Aponte used Tinder to invite several dozen guys on a simultaneous date in New York City this past Sunday afternoon, leaving her targets bewildered by the stunt. The date turned out to be an event that the host describes as Live Tinder, a real live game show of sorts that resembles a cross between The Bachelorette and Catfish. In the end, it's hard to pick a winner here, but it looks good for Natasha. Several attendees have spoken up about what happened Saturday night, and their stories sound quite similar. One of them described this experience matching with someone named Natasha on Tinder several weeks ago. She first proposed getting drunk, but then she said she's working on a big presentation for work and would be back in touch when she had time. 2 weeks later, Natasha proposed that the man meet her in Union Square, where her friend was DJing around 6 on Sunday. They could meet in public, then head out on a date. Seems like a relatively normal Tinder exchange. It wasn't. The Tinder user showed up to find a stage and a DJ and about 100 people and cameras. Soon afterwards, Natasha showed up on this stage and explained that she had invited all the men on the same Tinder date. She appeared to be flanked by security and arrived with another woman dressed in a referee shirt.
I'm scared.
So I'm not going to read the other event because it's basically the same thing, but Natasha showed up around the 38-minute mark, so 38 minutes after the date was supposed to have begun. So she goes on to say, as you may or may not know, my name is Natasha, and I have a confession to make for everyone here. Everyone
wasted all your time.
Everyone here today was brought here to be on a date with me. The crowd boos at this point. The reason behind this is that dating apps are very difficult. And I said, okay, how do I solve this problem? Maybe I can bring everyone here in person and see how that goes and solve this once and for all.
Apparently it's not that fucking difficult as you can get over 100 fucking people to come in the same place at the same time.
I know, right?
Like, what the fuck?
I know if I was one of those 100, I would have been like, okay, I see where this is going. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Right, exactly. Bye. As soon as I saw other dudes there and her on the stage, I'd be like, no.
I would immediately said, this is a dick fest. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Sausage fest. Bye-bye.
My first thought would be, is this like NBC's To Catch a Predator or something? I'm out of here. I didn't even know she was.
What did I do?
She said she was 20.
It's like she said she was of age. Let me double check. Did I misread some point?
Right. Like, I swear to God, man.
Natasha proceeded to inform the group of men that they can compete for a date with her. Although the crowd was already thin, considering by the time she got to the rules.
Right, exactly.
So she brought everyone together so they could compete against each other to date her.
Fucking... Is this Tila Tequila? Or what? Like, with that fucking show? Like, what the fuck? Who does she think she is?
God, this is already sounding... I can see that crowd now. I'm getting to the rules. Where's half my people?
You're all cucks. This'll do great.
Okay, so here's what she said. Natasha then started sending men away. Trump supporters were sent away. Men named Jimmy were sent away. Men who smoke or drink heavily were sent away. Men under 5'10" were sent away. By the time the physical challenge started, it looked like only about 24 guys were left.
That's not physical challenges.
The sprinting competition, which took place after the push-up contest, is particularly hard to watch. So let that sink in.
Okay, so we had a push-up contest. After telling people that if you're named this, if you have this name, goodbye. If you voted for Trump, goodbye. If you're under this height line, goodbye. You would have had all. If you like to drink or smoke, goodbye. This information would have been in their damn profile.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But like, honestly, it'd be the complete opposite for me. Drink, smoke, come on over. Under 5'10", come on over. Trump supporter, come on over. That's literally like all the like I am.
And then, you had to prove yourself physically. So you had to be able to do push-ups. Well, I would have been out right then and there. I mean, I'm not a Trump supporter, even though I voted for him. I'm not named Jimmy. I don't really smoke or drink that much. I'm over 5'10", but ask me to do a push-up with a gun pointed in my head, I'd be like, just shoot me now.
So she wants a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She could have gotten that easily by just weeding through them. Like, what? I don't understand. She just wants a perfect tool. Like, okay, good luck, I guess.
Half of these things she could have weeded out with just a simple search engine.
Exactly. Like, she's just fucking lazy. That's the problem. She's like, this is too hard. I'm gonna just make a big fucking deal out of this.
And we're watching the race right now. And look at all of these cucks. I mean, at the other end of this, they're just wanting to run. I mean, no. The only time I'll run is like...
They're literally racing each other?
Yeah, they were going to race each other to see who was the fastest who would get the right to date her. And the only time I'd run for a woman is if there's some emergency that required me to run for her. But to run to prove myself to her? Fuck no.
I want to rip out my uterus right now and eat it in front of Gloria Steinem. I am so disappointed with the world. I don't know how to respond.
I'm looking to see if there's a... Oh, wait. No, wait. That's a flash mob. I was trying to see if there's actually a thing on it where someone recorded from all the men gathering from where to go.
All right. So, unclear what motivated Natasha to lead this very public display. Some might call the event an unkind public shaming of men who were simply looking for love. Members of the MGTOW community engaged in an angry thread on Reddit while pointing to the event as proof that men should avoid serious relationships with women. The MGTOW members, who are often aligned with the alt-right and the men's rights movement, I wonder what their bias is, referred to the topic as a publicity stunt, as well as career suicide for the young starlet. They also suggested that the attendees retaliate by harassing her on Instagram. Though it was apparently public in the past, her Instagram is now private.
Privates.
So he had the backlash he wasn't expecting, I bet.
I just want to know, did she go home with someone or did she just leave them all there?
You know, at this point, I am curious myself.
Well, let me finish reading because I think you'll be kind of surprised at how this ends. The reason to believe that this live Tinder event amounted to more than one's attempt at internet fame, though. There was clearly a lot of planning that went into bringing dozens of men to Union Square for a dating competition. Aside from the DJ, sound system, and security, there also appeared to be devoted cameramen filming the whole thing, as well as a cue card guy. And this wasn't
That's a shit ton of money to put into that.
Yeah.
Right. What? A cue card guy? What?
A cue card guy. They are someone who has cards that are either small or big, either one. But they basically are cues to either prompt for transition from one topic to another. She paid
someone?
Yeah, she paid someone to basically give her cards that cued her for the next rally.
What the fuck does this bitch need a man for? She's got so much money. Get a fucking dildo, for fuck's sake.
You know,
what the hell?
At this point, if you put that much effort into this, you might as well just kind of, you know,
just marry your goddamn self.
No, but wait for the end. Okay, let me continue reading so you can kind of get the full context of this. The New York City Parks Department confirmed to Gizmodo by email that the event was permitted by the Parks Department and that the New York Police Department. The Parks Department declined to disclose the permit holder for privacy reasons. However, the spokesman for the department did add that, to its knowledge, the event was not to be sponsored or promoted by Tinder. It's entirely possible that this event actually is a new reality show. To me, the whole stunt really is just funny as hell. It's even funnier if you imagine Natasha acted alone and that some lucky guy stuck through all the shenanigans to earn a date with this woman he'd hoped to meet. True, lots of guys showed up expecting to go out on a fun date and left having felt misled or duped. But let's be honest, women have to deal with this kind of bullshit and much worse on Tinder every single day.
Oh, really?
Let me finish. We're almost done. Let me finish.
Okay.
Update. The New York City Parks Department confirmed it in an email to Gizmodo that the permit holder for the event was Rob Bliss Creative. According to Lincoln, Rob Bliss is the founder of an eponymous agency which has led branded campaigns to over 250 million views across YouTube and Facebook without spending a cent on advertising. The agency brands creative viral content that leads to entirely organic national campaigns. In other words, this whole thing is almost certainly a viral marketing stunt. For whom? The brand will surely show itself sooner or later.
Wait.
That's awesome.
Okay, yeah, I can kind of believe that.
So basically, this is someone's stunt to get famous.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Well, it worked. Good job. You're a stupid bitch. Yay.
Hey, man.
You're known for being a fucking cunt. Oh. But you calling me wasted? Someone's calling me wasted in the chat. I am not wasted. I had one beer. Just because my words don't match up perfectly doesn't mean that that I'm not perfect.
You are perfect and drunk.
Yeah. No, I'm not drunk. I'm tipsy.
Oh. Yeah. The thing is that like about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, feminists came out with the feminist dating app because they're like, oh, well, you know, dating apps are entirely favor men and that men have all of the control. And I'm like, bullshit. I mean, I've used OkCupid, I've used Tinder, you know, I've even tried using Instagram for that purpose of trying to find dates, and all of the control is for the women. That, yeah, I may be able to send a message to a woman, but it's up to a woman to decide if she wants to respond back. But this woman is like, oh, well, you know, I just wanted to see who would be good on a date. And I can kind of understand it because people can lie on their profile. And this is something I always, you know, keep in the back of my mind when I see, hey, there's this really hot girl who's interested in me. She must be fake. Not that I don't think a hot girl would be interested in me, but more than likely it is some sort of scam. Because 9 out of 10 times, if I try to pursue it further, it turns out to be a scam. Like, hey, come to my website and you can find my phone number. No.
Yeah, I had one of those one time, a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, back when internet dating first really started, you got those a lot. But
I got those on my email. I had like this one lady who was supposedly a daughter of some woman trying to get her mom some kind of boy toy. I was like 21 going, this sounds fun. Let's do this. I need a credit card. Nope, I'm good. Peace.
But so she's trying to take the guesswork out of it by inviting all of these men together. And I think that is completely disingenuous to all the men. It shows a great disrespect. I mean, imagine if a man did this to women. I mean, it would be very hard to do it to women, but imagine if that happened. Feminists around the world would be saying, oh, this is misogyny. This is so disrespectful to women. You're just treating them like cattle and making them like show themselves off and prove that they're something. Oh, you don't like women who are over 5'10". That's just so misogynist. And yet this woman can do this. And this article person's like, oh, it's just so funny because women have to deal with this all the time on Tinder.
And men don't at all.
Wow.
I mean, I honestly, have you seen the videos of like the dudes, like the guy celebrities who hack each other's Tinder profiles and like fuck with people? Like, oh,
this is why I have friends who do that. They just like take my phone and they're like, hey, what accounts can we log into? I'm like, none, thank goodness.
I want to make a fake Tinder. I would love to make a fake girl Tinder and see how many dudes I can get to like agree to do weird fucking shit. Because if you're a guy and you're trying to be weird, they'll just be like, okay, bye, blocked. But if you're a girl and you're like, hey, I'll send you some nudes if you suck on my toes or some fucking weird, then they'll be like, oh yeah, oh please.
Just promise them a foot fetish video picture collection.
Yes.
For like
I'll give you full access.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about this girl. I mean, I like mayonnaise, but not enough to rub it on my dick.
At which point, then they show you a nice picture that goes, hey, look, this is what you can do with the mayonnaise with me.
Oh my god. Mayonnaise.
So, but yeah, I think that this was a publicity stunt. I think that it's for some viral marketing campaign to just get media attention, because this was all set up before. I mean, if it was just her that she brought all these guys together and that it was her herself, that would have been one thing. But this was planned. This had cameras. This had a stage. They had permits. This was just crock. And I think it's the greatest
DJ. Okay, I think, you know? It doesn't sound like someone trying to get someone's, you know, trying to use their friend's DJ skills to woo a bunch of guys.
Yeah, I was a little confused about that too. I was like, who the fuck DJs in the middle of a fucking park anyways? What the fuck? But yeah, this shit, I mean, I don't know, even if it is a publicity stunt or whatever to get, I don't know, something, views or whatever. I mean, it's like, why make it so gay? Like, I'm sorry, but like, even if it was like a battle of like men or something, you could have made it less stupid, less superficial, but they made it so awful, and they made it, if it wasn't her own words, then they made her sound very stupid. And I feel bad for everyone involved.
So does she actually end up with a guy at the end, or what?
It doesn't say.
It said, well, someone quote, or I think there was like a quote or something that said like, they're competing to potentially go on a date with her. Yeah, so
I don't know if anyone actually won that date.
Yeah, so we don't know if anyone actually won, but then even if she goes on a date with that one person, like, what if they're fucking awful? Like, you know, you did all that shit for nothing. But I mean, I guess it was for nothing anyways, because it was just to go viral or whatever. I don't know.
Well, Liz Reptile said, well, Warped Reflections asking, won't this convince people not to use Tinder anymore? And Liz Reptile's like, yeah, too many booty calls depend on Tinder. And my response is, liar! Liar! No one wants a booty call with me on Tinder. I've tried. Where are all these booty calls at? Because they're not here.
Same though. Ladies, get up in here.
Get up in here, ladies.
Come touch my snake. Touch my front hole. Please.
Yes. Oh, God.
Touch my front hole, my front log.
My front holes. All of them. Touch all of my holes, please.
Oh, Tinder. Liz Reptile explained it to me. It's just for gay people. So if I was gay, I could hook up on Tinder.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought that was Grindr, or maybe both. I don't know. I've never hooked up with anybody from Tinder, so I wouldn't know. I've only made friends.
Liz Reptile is inviting all of us to touch her front hole. So let's start forming up a line. But, you know, I mean, if it was, like I said, if it was just her herself and she gathered them and did something like a trivia contest, like, let me ask you some questions and I'll pick out the guy who matches these qualifications. Like, hey, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? What have you? These are subjective things, but, you know, it's not like she's holding something against someone. Someone named Jimmy being smaller than 5'10". Those are superfluous stuff because it doesn't define a person's personality. Even the whole, if you voted for Trump or you're a Trump supporter, there are good people out there who support Trump.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to continue that sentence. I was like, wait.
I'm thinking about Liz Reptile's front hole, so.
Oh.
Touch my front hole. Getting a quarter front tube.
A what front tube? Quarter?
A quarter front tube.
Oh my god. My front tube is getting stiff. Oh my god. This is great. Oh, I went like they don't even know like what they've started. Like if people actually ever refer to a vagina as a front hole, I just call everything a front tube. I'd be like, so does it bother you that I have a front tube? And they'd be like, what's a front tube? And I'll be like, oh, this is awkward. We all got front tubes, man. I just said front tubes. That's wonderful. Oh.
I have a front tube as well.
I have front too. You watch me. Oh, these are some good articles.
Depressing and funny, which is what we bring you on this show.
Exactly. We make you laugh and cry and want to die. Ding.
Penis in your ass while tickling you with a feather.
That sounds nice.
You'll laugh.
It almost looks like my knees are my boobs right now. I'm just saying. Boing.
Wow, your boobs look so firm.
Thank you. Like two bald heads. Someone just asked, why do I have a potato cam? Because I can't afford a real webcam. All right, Sharon. But yeah, no. I did not have any money for a better webcam. I'm sorry. If anybody wants to send me one, that'd be dope.
I already sent you a microphone. Isn't that good enough?
Well, some people are still complaining about the phone, or not the phone, the webcam. What the fuck am I saying? I have a headache. I'm sorry. I'm retarded.
Well, you tell people the next time they complain about having no camera, they can shove it in their back hole.
Back hole, yes. Put it in the back hole.
All right, so we should go ahead and start wrapping this show up. Some of us have lives. Not anyone here, but I'm sure someone out there has a life. So, Dragoneth, so great for you to join us today. Where can people find you?
Twitch, Draconis Fire Soul. That's where they can find me. I bit shoot occasionally for the archives.
Cobain's.
Yeah, hopefully I start doing more with our little group there, but I've just been so busy with extra projects, but still, I hope.
That's cool.
We do have a Thursday show where we sometimes appear together, sometimes we don't, on Twitch TV called Gator and Frog. So just Gator and Frog, which is just another name for giving no fucks. So
nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Who else is showing? I cannot hear anything.
No? I hear something.
Wait. Is my cat alive? Are you okay, my cat? I think he might have died.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
He mentioned Gator and Frog. Maybe Rogue came and grabbed him.
God damn it. Okay. I don't know what happened to Mad Cat. I guess he exploded into oblivion, but hopefully he will come back. I don't know what to do with the host is gone. I guess we just keep chilling. Go buy a Lovely Ladies calendar if you haven't gotten one yet. They're on sale for $10. Oh shit, the host is gone. How are we still live? It's a ghost stream. Okay, but yeah, you can donate $10 with your address and information to paypal.me/lovetheseladies, and we'll send you a lovely calendar. But yeah, also any men who are interested in posing for some pictures for a calendar, definitely check out or fucking DM me on Twitter at Vanessa W. Cheese. Someone just asked, what if I want to keep chatting with Modern Medusa? You can talk to me at on Twitter at Vanessa W. Cheese. You can talk to me on any of my Facebook pages. Honestly, all my links are on Twitter, so that's probably the easiest place to find me. Or in my video descriptions. on my channel. So don't forget to subscribe to me if you haven't yet. I think my cat just messaged me, so let me see what he said.
Liz was saying apparently when the host is gone, give it 15 minutes for it to die.
Okay. He said he can't go back in. I guess we're gonna send him another link. I don't know how that works, but
Ooh. He should have the primary access to the link.
Right. But wait, what? I want to let him sign it to YouTube. What the fuck? Okay, that's really fucking weird.
So if he doesn't come back within time, apparently it will just auto kill itself. But wait, it won't let him sign back in?
Yeah, apparently. But we're still streaming, so not really sure what the fuck that's about. But I guess since he's not here, I'll just show his stuff for him.
Okay, it's still existent, so it's not showing in.
If he does, I don't know if he will or not. But let's see. It's your channel now. Be in charge. Okay, so yeah, if you want to support Mad Cat, you can go to his Patreon, patreon.com. Well, everything's in the description in case you didn't know. Patreon.com/mad_cat. And then he also has paypal.me/madcatprime. And he has he has multiple books on Amazon, but the most recent one is How to Destroy a Woman Now. Excuse me, I don't know what the fuck just happened. How to Destroy a Woman Now, which is a parody of How to Destroy a Man Now, which is an actual book. And I'm on the cover of Mad Cat's version, so you should go buy that on Amazon. And you can also follow him on Twitter, GG_mad_cat. And yeah, then there's just my channel if you haven't subscribed already. But yeah, I'm on all of the social medias, and I'm pretty sure Mad Cat is as well. But
apparently they're saying shake boobs for views.
Shake boobs for views. I don't know if that works. I know that works on like Periscope, but yay, he's back.
What the fuck?
I don't know what just happened.
All of a sudden, YouTube says you are not allowed to log in.
You're not allowed? What?
Yeah, it's like there's a problem with you logging in. I'm like, what do you mean there's a problem? I've been logged in. In fact, I went into another browser and was still logged into YouTube. So I was like scared for a moment. Maybe they like blocked my account or something, but I'm back.
Log into your Gmail and find out if there's a notification for someone trying to log in as you.
That's certainly a possibility. I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
So weird. Oh, I was just showing you. So you're good.
She was also shaking for views.
Yeah, apparently I shake my boobies and it was magical and it made you come back.
Well, certainly come.